Hey, this is Miss D for Six Women Sports. Please like, share, subscribe. Please comment and like this video on the road to 200 or more with your help. You know, this week has started off real interesting in the WNBA. Not just for the playoffs, but two veteran coaches, two winning coaches, um, especially New York got fired. They said didn't renew the contract, and basically that says you're fired. So let's start off with Sunday. Um, Sunday, Noah Quinn, the Seattle Storm, was fired after their exit lost to the Aces. Excuse me. And I kind of figured Noah Quinn time was up with Seattle. Last year, a lot of drama went on. We don't know exactly. It was been investigated. Um, there was some bullying going on. We don't know who bullied who. But Jewel Lloyd wound up being traded to the Aces, and you know the league was investigating them. Nothing really came out of it. And as the head coach, you don't want that to happen to you. Those allegations. And so, you know, how much is Noah Quinn to blame for the locker room problems, um, which kind of affected how they played. They got swept the last year when Jewel Lloyd was on the team. Uh, Fast forward to this year, you still bringing back Skylar Diggins and NECA. You had drafted a 19-year-old Dominic Malanga, who was touted as a generational player, and you bring in Erica Wheeler, E Weezy. Um, you still have Magagore. You have uh, Lexi Brown. You bring in Tiffany Mitchell on a trade, mid-season trade. You also bring in Slim from the Washington Mystics, Slim Sykes, Brittany Sykes, and on paper, this team looked pretty good. But once again, something's going on. What's going on in that locker room? We'll never know, I guess. Um, Luo, the big Chinese forward or center, wanted to be traded, and they traded her to the Dallas Wings. Um, it was rumors as well that it was some bullying going on. She didn't get a lot of playing time as well. Her role was reduced, so she was kind of disgruntled. Then the veteran who played with the Seattle Storm previously, Alicia Clark, demanded a trade. She wasn't getting any playing time, but also it was also rumors again, allegedly, that some bullying was going on. So that was the locker room that's supposed to be like a veteran-led locker room, and Noah Quinn is always in the middle of it. And so they kind of underachieved, even with the talent they had. I thought they would be a lot better. They just was over 500. They barely squeaked into the playoffs, and so now we head to the presser, and you had some exit interviews, and it didn't seem too good. Um, right after the playoff series, you had Lexi Brown, who stated that she didn't get any playing time. As we know, Lexi Brown has a chronic ailment, and she felt that she was still in good health to play. So she voiced that in the exit interview. And then you had Tiffany Mitchell, who voiced that she wanted some playing time. So everybody now in the exit interview wanted some more playing time. And she said she had a relationship, close relationship, as far as telling the assistants how she feel about the playing time. And so now you're looking at Noah Quinn kind of side eye. Um, Seems like the only two players that's probably happy with Noah Quinn is Skylar Diggins and NECA because they get to do uh, mostly what they wanted to do. And so you had that going on, kind of underachieved. You had the veterans. They almost beat the Aces. You had Will, Easy. I mean, Erica Wheeler, who came over from the Fever, but they couldn't pull it off. They almost pulled off the upset. So, okay, it looked like all these things going on, and you got Noah Quinn, going over her exit interview, and it didn't seem like they was going to make a move, the Seattle Storm. But Sunday, Seattle Storm, in the press release said they was not going to renew Coach Quinn's contract. So basically, a mutual departure, basically a firing. It was understanding. I think she knew. We didn't know. Maybe the fans and the Seattle knew. So we take this down, and let me share my screen here. So now they come into the part where the rumors start spreading. Like, who are the coaching candidates for the Seattle Storm? And so let me share my screen here. Okay, let's get into it. So this is from Yahoo Sports. It says 4 Seattle Storm head coaching candidates to replace Noah Quinn. Let's see what they got. 7 franchises made head coaches decisions last offseason, a record for the league. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. This year, carousel is expected to be tamer. On Sunday, the Seattle Storm announced the franchise is not renewing Noah Quinn's contract. Fired. So let's get into it. One of the candidates that they put at the top is Sonia Raymond, New York Liberty assistant. This season, Raymond's first in the WNBA. She played a key role in the Liberty's offensive development, as well as in special situations such as late game scenarios and after timeout sets, both areas in which the Storm has significant room for growth. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the Storm played that, okay, you go ahead and, oh no, you take the shot instead of playing as a team. So yeah, that would be a pretty good change of pace for them. So another one is Brianna January from the Indiana Fever. So January is finishing her first season as assistant coach with the Fever, which is her 3rd season on a WNBA coaching staff after retiring from playing around the league. Executives view her as a future head coach. So okay, she got a good rapport from executives. That's pretty good. And she has already interviewed for other head coaching positions. Last winter, January added to her coaching resume by joining the Detroit Pistons G League affiliate. Yeah, I remember her from the Detroit Pistons G League. Was sharpening her skill. January plays a role on a defensive coordinator for the Fever, but she has a reputation for being like a real rounded coach. So she's 38 and played 14 seasons. And it says she connect with players on all experience levels. What right? That's good because depending on who stay, you have players with different ages. But I don't know if Skylar and Neck are going to stay. But you might still have Magagor. I think, of course, they're trying to build that around Dominic Malonga. I don't know if Gabby can stand, so I don't know how this team gonna look. So, but she seems like a good candidate. Another coach, Tanisha Wright. Wow, okay. I call her Tanisha wrong. Right now, I don't know about her because for some reason she could not get over that talent. She couldn't do anything with the talent she had in Atlanta. They underachieved Atlanta, but here they said she's a candidate. Speaking of familiarity, few, if any, potential candidates have as much familiarity with the organization as Wright. Kay says the former Atlanta Dream head coach played 10 seasons for the Storm, and she won a championship, I think. Yep, 2010. So 2005 to 2014. Wright, who spent the past seasons with the Sky, led the Dream as head coach 2 seasons with a playoff appearance in her final 2 years. Still, Atlanta never won a postseason game in her tenure. So yeah, she had talent. She just couldn't win a game. You still had Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray and Jordan Canada. So mostly the same players, with the exception of I think she didn't have Brittany Griner and Bree Jones at Pow Pow. So, another candidate, I like this candidate. I think she should get a chance. Rebecca Brunson. And Rebecca Brunson is now assistant for the Minnesota Lynx. It says, after a decorate playing career in which she won 5 WNBA championships and made 5 All-Star teams, Brunson joined the Minnesota Lynx coaching staff in 2020. So she's been there for a little minute as an assistant. Since then, she has been a key resource in development of Nafisa Collier and Elena Smith. Yeah, her post-up, man, people don't realize when she played with the Monarchs of Sacramento. She was very good. People always talk about Yolanda Griffin, but she was very good. So those experiences seemingly position her well to work with Malonga. Right, because Malonga is not really a traditional post. She's going to be a stretch, and she's going to play a little bit like Brunson play. So Brunson has previously said the player development is one of her favorite parts of coaching. So she might be the leading candidate. She has what other candidates don't have so far. And so Seattle's roster will eventually turn over. Right, I think they're going to go younger. And having someone with a player development experience will be critical in continuing growth of the franchise. So, that was some of the candidates. And my favorite is Rebecca Brunson, who can kind of whip the young Dominic Malonga in shape. Yeah, she could whip Dominic Malonga in shape there. And so I'm very excited about that. And yeah, I'm very excited about that. So yeah. We're gonna see, because I don't think like I said, NECA's gone, Gabby's gone, I think. Skylar gone. I don't know, but I think Sykes might be gone. And even Erica Wheeler might leave. I don't know. So that's like 6 players gone. But maybe Sykes stay and maybe Erica Wheeler stay. But definitely NECA and Skylar, I think, gonna gonna walk in Gabby. I think probably Gabby probably looking for a better situation because when they leave, um, it's gonna be a rebuild. It's gonna be a rebuild, and I don't think maybe Gabby want to go through that. I'm not sure, but she will get more playing time like this she wanted, and she will be maybe if she stay, she would be the go-to person because they still developing Dominique Malanga. She's only 19, so she would probably stick and stay because she'll probably have the ball more. So yeah, but I kind of figured that maybe I'm not really surprised about Nora Quinn. There's just so much toxic stuff going around, and maybe it wasn't her fault. But as a coach, you had to nip that in the bud. You have players want to get traded, veteran players. You had investigations happen, and so I'm not really surprised. They probably thought she probably lost control of the locker room, lost control of how things was ran, so they fired her essentially. But the most interesting situation is the firing yesterday of Sandy Brondello, who only been with the Liberty 4 years. She won a championship last year, and that was kind of shocking that they fired Sandy Brondello. And I think sometimes the general managers, they have unrealistic expectation, and I feel that a lot of people say Sandy didn't manage the players that she had. Once again, Brianna Stewart was injured. She played good. She was injured. Jaquel Jones, I don't know. She was non-existent. This is kind of weird. Cloud kind of faded down the stretch. Sabrina Ionescu faded down the stretch. So what's the coach to do? And so I'm trying to figure out why they fired her. After the championship, you know how there's always shakeups after the championship. Kayla Thornton, they left her unprotected, and she was a major part of why they won last year. Their bench last year was awesome. You had Benaja Lady Hamilton was injured, so you had so many injuries. Satu was okay. People wonder why she didn't play her, but it seemed like she didn't play as well as she did last year. Beebich was not the same Beebich last year. I mean, she really stepped up. So you had players that was injured from last year's bench. You have players that wasn't there anymore. You have players that didn't play the same like they did last year. And so, yeah, they fired her. They said renewed. I guess that's the new term, fire. So, let me share my screen. So even Shura Reeves, they asked Shura Reeves about it, and she said, "I think Sandy is a heck of a coach, and I think Sandy will land on her feet. She always does, and I'm absolutely thrilled if I'm Seattle or Toronto or Portland that I was just gifted a championship level coach." Yeah, Seattle, definitely is a good place for her. Portland, Toronto. I think Seattle have a little more upside. Of course, depends on what players they get. Portland and Toronto could be just like another surprise you, another Valks, Golden State Valkyries. So when a reporter asked Sabrina and Brianna um, about Brondello's job security, they was angry and even shocked at the question. Stewart was like, "What the f?" Thought about Brondello not returning. We're not going to be a team that point fingers, Stewart says. There's a lot of us that could have done better this season, but we're still going to fight and show up for each other every single day. And I think that's just because it's an important part so we have Brondello's back. So they seem to have her back, I guess. But like I said, the veterans didn't do her any favors. Jacquard Jones was so busy throwing temper tantrums, and only one that really showed up consistently in the playoffs was Stewart. Sabrina was off and on. Cloud was not the same Cloud she was at the beginning. She was on a tear, and so that was just a disaster for her as a coach. Dealing with the injuries and not having your veterans play like they know they can. And so that was just a disaster for her. And it just it was not good for her. So we're gonna see what the New York Liberty gonna do. So let me see. So let me share my screen here. So they got 6 candidates to replace Sandy Brondello. Let's see what they say about that. So Will Weaver from the Charlotte Hornets, coaching advisor. Weaver, 41, fits the profile of a candidate who might want to make the leap from the NBA and receive interest in the Liberty. He is a coaching advisor with the Charlotte Hornets, but he has more than a decade of coaching. He has worked with the Brooklyn Nets, the brother organization of the Liberty, and he is regarded well in the Liberty's front office. So Jenny Brusick, Indiana assistant. Brusick has playing and coaching experience in the WNBA. She was the head coach of the Sacramento Monarchs. Okay, I remember her. 2007 to 2009, and a Storm for 2015, 2017. So that's one candidate. She's highly regarded as a player development coach, and she's very creative and late game situations. Now, this one I think is pretty cool. I think she should get a shot. She's a up and coming young coach who won a championship in Maryland. She's been around. She was a player in the WNBA as well. Chrissy Tolliver. Tolliver is one of the NBA's most regarded assistant coach and is expected to receive a head coaching job in the upcoming cycles. A former 14-year veteran, Tolliver has 4 years experience on NBA coaching staffs and has spent the last 2 years in Phoenix under Nate Tibbetts. And Tibbetts says she's ready, and I think she had opportunities last year, and most teams didn't make the right decision, in my opinion. I think the beauty of where Tolliver is taking pride in being a great assistant when time comes, and a great coach when the time comes. She's a great basketball mind. She's got the ultimate respect of her players in the league, which is important, and her time will come. She just needs one team to give her a chance. Yeah, okay. And this one's kind of shocking because she's Notre Dame head coach, and right now, depends. It depends. I think she could make more money staying in Notre Dame, but they got Neo Ivy. Perhaps Ivy would leave her alma mater to jump to the WNBA. But the Liberty would be as smart to at least inquire about her interests. Like Brondello, Ivy was a WNBA player in the early 90s, and her background as her background as a player service, not early 90s, and her background as a player service well connected with her current players across various levels of basketball. And she, before Notre Dame, she was part of the Memphis Grizzlies organization. Lindsey Harding, she's a Laker assistant right now. Like Tolliver and Busek and Ivory, Harding has experience as a WNBA player, later transitioned to an NBA sideline. Harding joined the Sacramento Kings staff in 2022 and is currently with the Lakers under coach J.J. Redick. And so her coaching experience, not too bad. Right now, she's with the Lakers. She's with the Kings in 2023-2024 G League. And she interviewed for the Charlotte Hornets G League, head coaching before the Lakers hired her. Okay. So, once again, another name that popped up for the Seattle Storm, Sonia Romaine, popped up for the Storm. They got her also moving over as the head coach of the Liberty, not the assistant. So that was some of the head coaches that the Liberty might go after. I like it. I like that. So a lot of the candidates, I like Christy Tolliver. I like Lindsey Harding. Jenny is okay, So yeah, I like that. I like some of the candidates that I heard. But we'll see how this is gonna go. I think it's gonna be more situations. It might be more firings. A lot of these owners a little bit impatient. But the coaching, that's one thing that they care about winning. Because it seemed like the Chicago Sky don't. Last year they fired Spoon, and I felt like that was kind of crazy. You gave her 1 year, and she had a better record than Tyler Marsh. And you fired her, but you kept Tyler Marsh, and then Dallas kept their coach, Chris Buchanan, but I think they probably gonna give him 1 more year. But Dallas has a great opportunity to be a good team. I like besides the man bun, as I call him, I think Kurt Miller do a pretty decent job of getting talent in there. So that was the hot takes, the hot happenings that happened in WNBA besides the playoffs. And so, once again, please hit that like button. Please subscribe and drop a comment down below. Just say, hey, hi, I'm here. Replay game, anything. So this is Ms. D for System One Sports. Please like, share, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.